Thank you for reminding me. Okay, yeah. Okay, so daily stand-up is done, quick discussion is done. So now today's topic is a brand new topic, Java fundamental. For many of you, that will be like very, very basic because maybe you took it in school. If you are from information tech or computer science, you definitely have this stuff already. So for you, maybe it will be just a review, but many of you actually never took any Java class in your school, or you don't have any knowledge about programming language. So for you, that will be helpful because I'll start from very, very basic. Um, if you have any question, just ask me and I will try to explain. And at the same time, the class will be recorded and still we'll be sharing this video with all of you. So you can go back and review the stuff I'm covering. So there are several topics I'm planning to cover today. Means I have an agenda, but few topics will be covered based on the time, because like we have time till 2:15. So basically at 2:15, I have to see where I am actually. Then I have to stop. Then I'll continue next class. So Java will be at least 2 weeks session, means 4 session, I think, 3 to 4 session. So today is the first day. And Java is very, very important, especially for automation concept. You will be using Java. Even you use different programming language, the concept will be very, very similar. Like 80% time, the concepts are same for most of the programming languages. The design pattern or syntax, the writing style, little different for different programming language, but Java is one of the most popular one at the market right now. If you search for job, you will see 70 to 80% company will be saying they need some automation tester with Java experience or Java knowledge, right? So we cannot just cover every single programming language. So we are covering something that is more popular and that is covering most of the market. And Selenium is well known for using Java also. So you will be using Java mostly for automation practice or automation testing. So there are several things in Java. You have fundamental of Java means, let me go to beginning. What is a Java, right? So Java is a programming language, as you know, most of you know. This is a high-level programming language. Some of these fundamentals I'm just giving you as a information. You will never be asked during interview or at work, like who started Java, who is the first company, what is the first company who introduced Java. This type of information is just for knowledge. This is not important for interview, but it is better to actually just know all of this information. So this is currently owned by Oracle. This is the most maybe important one. Who owns right now? Oracle is owning Java right now. Why Java is important? There are several concepts here that you'll be learning next 4 classes. So Java is platform independent programming language. So platform independent means there is a concept, right? You are using Mac, you are using Windows laptop, you are using different type of Linux laptop, right? So different platform you are using, but Java will be working for all of these platforms. So you don't have to worry about what type of operating system you are using or what type of laptop you are using. So you can use actually Java for your code practice. Object-oriented programming language. This is one of the big for automation, object-oriented programming language. So if you think about number 2 and remaining 3, 4, 5, 6, they are kind of related to object-oriented programming because if you think about automation practice, you will see most of the company nowadays looking for a automation tester who is also expert or who has good knowledge on object-oriented programming concept. So there are several reasons object-oriented programming is important. You will see in the future classes that object-oriented concept will save you time a lot. It will be easier to maintain for any type of coding. So basically, instead of writing 100 times something, if you have object-oriented concept implemented in your code, instead of 100 times, you have to just change in some specific 4 or 5 places. And then remaining 90 times or 95 times, you don't have to change because they will be covered. So you are saving actually time. And also object-oriented means there will be relationship. You have parent-child relationship also will be there. So if you write something from your parent, you can just call them using some kind of relationship, and this will be also covered for the discussion and very, very important. This is called inheritance. If you have like biology major, you know that there is a genetic terms, right? Inheritance. So child inherit parents' genetic properties, or like similar way, there will be parent-child relationship between some kind of programming language. So child programming language can just get the information from parent programming language. But there is a process. If I say right now, explain, most of you will not understand if you never had this experience. So another thing I explained, web-based applications support most or all of the web-based application. Robust is kind of similar to that, is connected to object-oriented, means it will be easier to maintain, it will be saving time, secure, right? Security is another one. So most of the web-based backend, right, nowadays built with Java, because Java is very, very secured language. You can add security, extra layer of security that you will see in the next 3 weeks also, that how actually secured. Multi-threaded, this is basically one of the concept. So you can have multiple thread, and you can use indifferently Java, but this is this can be part of your interview question, why Java is important. But all of this will be explained next few classes. So next few classes will be very, very important. If you don't know Java, but if you already have good knowledge on Java, probably so you can just take it lightly. But QA course, right? QA course doesn't need advanced level of Java. You need basic Java knowledge. Means anything you need to do automation testing. You are not writing a code to build products. So development team will be building, right? They need advanced level of Java knowledge. So for you as a QA, you need mostly high level basic Java coding knowledge and concept, so that you can use those concepts when you write automation code. So make it a little bigger, then you'll understand more. So as I said, Java is a platform independent programming language, right? So if you use C, C++, like those programming languages, you have a missing layer of converter, right? So you cannot use for every operating system anytime, right? There is some process, extra layer of process. But if you use Java, every laptop, right, has a Java virtual machine. This is a layer laptop has, right? So since your laptop has this layer, this kind of interpreter, for example, you write something, it will be understandable using this interpreter, and your operating system will be communicating with your laptop basically, or operating system. So that's why this is platform independent. Java virtual machine for Windows, Java virtual machine for Linux, Java virtual machine for Mac. You'll see that this is already added. This is extra layer for Java. So that's why Java is platform independent. And you can work with any of these operating system. This picture also says something that you see that JVM, this is the reason why this is platform independent. You see that JVM? Basically, every code is coming to JVM first, and then it is converted to actual working code, right? So JVM is the reason why this is platform independent. So there are some other features that you need to know for Java. This is very much simple. If you just practice properly, you will understand the concept. The syntax of Java based on C++ that you actually don't need for just the information. No need for this. This is not an interview question. Interview question maybe why, like how this object-oriented works actually, because Java has objects and each object is connected to some other object also. And they are working in a template base, right? Method or some structure. Their functionality works on object based. So if I go to real example, then you will understand more that what is the object, what is how it works. This I already actually explained there. Just multi-threaded, distributed, okay, dynamic. Okay, now this one actually just, so history, just for your knowledge, you can read this. Nobody will ask, but if you know those stuff, those information is always good. So one important thing, Java JDK version, right? So anything 8 and above is a working version right now. If you have Java 7 or below, you should update it. Maybe like somebody installed JDK 7 like 10 years ago in your laptop and you didn't change it yet. So you should change it and update with the current version. So Java JDK 8.0 and above will be working. So you will not see any company right now who use 7 or below. So anything 8 and up is good for your laptop and good for your practice. So anybody who took Java class long time ago and you have 7 and below, just change it and install the new version. So there, for Java practice,
I have a question.
Yes.
So every year there is a new version came from Java?
Yes.
Okay.
Every year, sometimes every 6 months, depending on, there is no fixed time that is 3 months or 4 months, but yes, every year definitely at least one new version is coming.
Okay.
But if you have anything 8 or above, like you have 9, 10, 11, 12, anything, maybe right now is 15 or 16. But if you have 8, 9, 10, anything, but not 7, 8 or above, it will work. You can practice and you can just continue.
Okay.
Information, everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Required software, right? So these two, as I gave you that instruction as part of homework, basically you supposed to download this part, installing JDK, and there is a Eclipse, NetBeans, but we are actually using IntelliJ. This is not in this list, but we'll be using IntelliJ. If you use Eclipse, it's still fine. Most of the people is still using Eclipse. Maybe some college students in the college use NetBeans also. A lot of college use NetBeans for their practice, but they're all same. For example, if you drive Toyota Camry or Honda Civic or Nissan Altima, right? 3 different company, but you can drive, right? All 3, just different company, but they work they work very similarly, very similarly. If you know one, basically you can practice with another one. So many of you actually asked me, I used Eclipse, can I still use it? So you can still use it, Eclipse, and most of the videos on YouTube, you will see instructors using Eclipse. So if you have Eclipse knowledge, you are comfortable with Eclipse, you can use Eclipse. But I think I answered some of you. Joel Bhai will be using IntelliJ a lot because he likes IntelliJ because he uses IntelliJ at his work. So Java JDK, as I said, is a development kit. So this is a runtime environment that you need for this kit. You need for this picture. You see that this layer. So basically, you are establishing in your laptop this layer. Once you install JDK, then you are ready for Java practice. You will write Java and you can run this program, run this code successfully. So various version, as I said, you need basically Java 8 and higher. So this was part of the homework, and I know many of you still need to do this, but you need this for the future classes to practice Java. So this is totally different. For example, you need Java JDK installation first, then it will be, you can install Eclipse or NetBeans or IntelliJ. So if you download Eclipse or IntelliJ or NetBeans first, and you don't have JDK installed, it will not work. So it is a sequential process. JDK need to be installed first, and then Eclipse or NetBeans or IntelliJ. So IDE basically to write the code, like Notepad. But IDE is with, they have intelligence inside. There is some rules. They can actually, there's a specific type of Notepad, for example. So if you make any error, it will give you like information, okay, you made this error here. Or if you have any syntax issue, they will say, okay, this comma is missing or semicolon is missing. So that's why this is IDE. So this is a Notepad where you write your code, but there is a integrated one, like they have a special intelligence inside this Notepad, for example. And this is the installation you have to do before going to download IntelliJ or Eclipse. So I'm just assuming that, okay, I did this. And now, once you have IntelliJ or Eclipse, right? So how you will start writing some Java code? So far, anybody has any question? Those are very fundamental kind of information. Maybe you will not be asked during interview question. This is not interview question. Nobody will ask you, can you explain me the versions of Java? They will never ask actually. Okay, since you don't have any question, I will move forward. So this is the structure we'll be following. Project, package, and then class or program. So there is maybe one thing from last week, maybe few of you didn't join last week. So you saw that to test something, we wrote test cases, right? So test cases are very similar to one of the Java program, for example. So when you do automation testing, those test cases will be added as a Java class here. You will practice this. You'll see this more next few weeks. So folder structure is some important thing that you should know if you are brand new in Java. So if you have IntelliJ ready or Eclipse ready in your laptop, you can start with the project. So project means some folder. Those are just folder. So let me open IntelliJ. Okay, I already have downloaded. So I am just opening IntelliJ Community Edition. That's free. This is free for everybody. You don't need to pay anything. So when you open IntelliJ or even Eclipse, same thing, right? So you will see something, tips for the day. It's kind of general knowledge. Anything new they do, change anything, they just give you this type of knowledge. So now you can actually read this, get your knowledge updated. And also you can go to next tip. There is maybe hundreds of tips, but each day they have a new tip. Or you can just close it. You don't want to read, just close it. So now this is, for example, a screen where you can create a new project. So this is IntelliJ. If I just, so you can make it smaller, right? You can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, it's up to you. Or you can make it full screen. So if you want to create a new project, as I showed you here, to practice Java, always you have to create a project. So project will be the first step. So how you can create a project. So if you go to file, for example, here, you see that there is a new, everybody can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I can
Okay.
see.
So Eclipse also same. They also have file and then new. Just looks maybe little different, but exactly same thing. So you see that file, then new, then this is the project. Always start with project. When even you do automation testing, always start with project. So next 4 months, anything you do, always start with project during the training. So if you click on project, there will be another screen. So for automation, you'll see in couple of weeks, when Joel Vai start automation framework, he will start this Maven. But this is coming in like maybe at least after 1 month. So I will actually select Java. I'm not selecting Maven because this is little advanced. You need at least 1 month. Okay, so Java is your basic. You are creating a Java project, right? What type of project you are creating? They are asking here. So I am creating a Java project. And now remember I said Java JDK version 8 and higher. Right now this laptop has version 12 and also version 11. So I can use one of them. If I use, for example, 11, it still will work. If I use 12, it will work. So if I use, for example, 11, and then next, you want a template, right? So they will be asking you project name. So I can actually give any project name, right? So what, like something you give related to your work. So I can give, okay, summer 2021 QA. This is my project name, for example. So if at your work, it can be anything. Like if you work at Chase Bank, it will be maybe login screen. Create login screen, maybe your project name. It doesn't matter, but there will be something relevant name. So project name, and then you can change your location. You can customize your location. If you, but by default, this is your laptop's, I think C drive. Then just, if you select your location properly and just finish. So now there was another project was open. I says, no, I want to open a new screen. So if you want to open a new screen, new window. If you want to open in same screen, this window. So, but I want a new screen for this new project. So you see that this is a new project. Anytime you use a new project, on your left side, you will see these 3 folder. Actually, 2 folder will be, you can expand them, right? Like this, you see that? And this one is another folder. So if you download Java JDK, you see that you are actually downloading these. Many of you already maybe did, depending on the version, right? I actually added version 11. If I add previously version 12, it will be saying here 12. So right now it is version 11, Java JDK version 11, right? So all the 11 related library. So basically you are downloading a lot of libraries, right? Those are actually files. File library is a combination of maybe hundreds of files. So this is already added because I have Java JDK installed in my machine. So if you don't have JDK installed in your machine, you will not see that. You can just install this IntelliJ, but you will not see any of this, and that means it will not work. This is the first thing you have to check, because you have to have some version of JDK that is 8 or higher. Anything less than 8 will not work. So now inside the project folder, so this is the project folder, you will see 3 different things, but all of your concentration will be in source. You see that blue SRC. So anything you will test, anything you will write, any code you will write will be inside the source. So source is kind of your one of the main folder. Project is your parent, the main of the first folder you created project. But inside the project, right? Inside the project, you have source folder. So inside the source folder, you will be making subfolders. So subfolders means package here, right? So package, what does that mean? So my package can be day 1, right? Day 1 can be one package, day 2 can be another package. So if you right click on source, you see that I right click, now new. As I said, package, there is another option, package. So now in Java, there are some standard. When you create project, you will always start with uppercase. You see that S is uppercase, right? Now, when you write package, you will be writing lowercase. So my package name will be summer day 1, for example. So S will be lowercase, right? Because this is a package. I'm just following the standard. So there is another standard is camel casing. So every word you use will be starting with uppercase. Summer, day. So day will be, D will be uppercase, and 1, O will be uppercase. So you see that this is called camel casing. So every new word will be uppercase in Java. Anybody has any confusion there, like what I'm just saying? This is just standard, everybody follows. So this is a package name. Maybe for tomorrow, I can create another package for tomorrow, for example. Practice Java, right? Maybe summer day 2. So this is maybe another package. You see that you can add as many as package you want. Most of the time, maybe you will be adding maybe 10, 15 packages. You're not going to add like 2000 package here. So this is package. Basically, everything is a folder structure, right? On the left side, you can see that layout of the folder. Summer is the main package, right? Main folder, where is saying that what is your project about, right? Your project name. And inside the summer, you have source folder, right? And inside the source folder, you have several packages. You can have one package, you can have 10 packages, depending on your practice or your project size or how you maintain the project. So for example, now you have a package. So inside the package, you will be writing the code. And in Java, each of these new folder under the package will be called as a class. So class is kind of template, right? So where you'll be writing all the codes. So now if I write if I just right click on the package, same thing again, you will see new. Now my next target is Java class. You see that Java class? So inside the package, you will be writing Java class. We have to give some name, right? Some relevant name that is similar to the work you are doing. Even at work, right? In your project, something. It can be sign in option. It can be download option, or you can write forget password, right? Yeah, in real work, whatever you write to test. So now, if you write first code, so most of the places they say is hello world, right? So what is hello world? So this is just a name. You can write anything. If I can write my name, I can write your name. It doesn't matter what you write here. So this is just a name of your class, of your first code. So now I just created a class. So this is your package name. This is your class name. And all of these inside the summer 2021 QA. This is the project name, right? So inside the project, all of this. So now going back to my notes. So far I'm here, right? Anybody has any question that how I just went to this folder structure? You see that inside the project, you can have multiple package. Inside the package, one package, you can have multiple Java program. And each program is called here. Let me just. Okay. So far, I just created one program. I don't know this program is working or not, right? But I just created one class. Still here. If you don't have any question, I'm assuming that you are understanding. But if you are still confused, any of you can ask me, I can explain again. So as I said, there are some naming convention, right? Camel casing, I just explained, means every new word will be starting with uppercase. This, even though this is very, very fundamental, very, very basic concept, you can be asked during interview sometimes. What are the convention they use? So project will be always starting with uppercase. Package will be starting with lowercase, right? And class, right, will be starting with uppercase. As you see, this is my class name. H is uppercase, right? There is also camel casing here, right? W is uppercase. So any new word starting with uppercase. Variable will go there a little later, will be starting with lowercase. Okay, so now So every Java program or code will have a main method. This is one of the main methods that you have to actually, without main method, you cannot run any Java code, basically. So this is kind of your starting point or key, right? Where you can actually run a code. So now if you see here, so if I just say, so this is my Java code, right? If I type something, system dot out dot println, I'm just giving anything. I'm just giving something. So let me check if I can run this or not. I cannot actually run. There is no option to run because I don't have Java main method. To run any code in Java, you have to provide main method. So what is a main method actually? So main method is a starting point that is required to run a Java program, to run a Java class or Java code. So if I just type Java main method, you will see that there will be option will be displayed that where you can run this code. So this is some of the structure of Java. This is called syntax. You see that syntax. So the writing style is called syntax. So every class will have two curly bracket. You see that curly bracket? And inside the curly bracket, you will write everything basically. Inside the first two curly bracket, you will write everything. So now, if I write Java main method, it will be inside the class and inside these two curly bracket. And the main method always start with public static void. So if you write public, so you see that they always give you suggestion what word you want. Eclipse also same. If you type like one or two letter, they will give you the next suggestion. Now I want to type static. You see that they are already giving me option. So it is giving me option means your Java is working. Now public static and then void. And then main and then a parenthesis. So inside the parenthesis, there is another word called string. You see that string? This is the string. You can type or you can just select. So there will be more shortcut in the future will be showing, not right now. You don't have to type the entire line. You can just type a little bit and then you can use your laptop keys and they will actually automatically will be actually typed here or written here. But at the beginning, we don't actually suggest to actually use those shortcut. Now square bracket and then arguments. This is shortcut called ARGS and then another curly bracket. So basically you are writing anything you want to type, you are just writing here. So you see that before you wrote this one. Now if I move it to here, I'm just deleting this and moving inside the main method. So now, if I right click, what happens? You see that this option, this option, this option, these three options, you see that just came and it wasn't here before. I can show you again. If I just go to this and now see, you don't have any option. But if you just, you see these three options will be only displayed if you have main method written. So this is very, very important, Java main method. So what is Java main method? This is also explained here. This is the starting point. So without main method, you cannot run or execute any Java code, right? And this is explained why Java main method, what is each of these word mean, explanation. So public means this is public, and so in the future, you will see this is an access modifier. Basically, if you write instead of public, there is a private. There is another word called private. So that is maybe basically you are restricting the access of this code. So private is private, as you hear from the word private, it will be very, very restricted. Public means it will open and most of the class can share this public, right? So that's why this access modifier will be always public. Static is another keyword, return type void. So you can see that. So this is related to JVM load, right? Static and void. Basically, void means Java main method doesn't return anything. That's why it's void. Void means whatever doesn't return anything. And main, this is the main Java method. That's why it is called main method. And string arguments means basically this main method will be taking all the arguments here. Anything you write here, if you have 10 lines here, this is called arguments. Those are arguments or syntax or code that will be part of your Java main method. So now, if I type my name here, so what is my expectation now if I run this? So it is running, and you can see this is working perfectly, and this code is written here. This is called console, where you can see your result, right? After running, what is the result or what you want to display? Everything is there. But one of the main important thing here, the process finished with exit code 0. So exit code 0 means this is success. Now, if I, for example, I just remove this semicolon and run this, you will see exit code 1 because the semicolon is missing here. So it is running. You see that? Semicolon is expected. It says here, you see that?
Yeah, it's error.
It is an error, and exactly which location is the error? Line number 7 or something, right? And they're saying semicolon is expected. And what is the exit code? This is exit code actually 1. And that's why people use IDE. You can use Notepad, regular Notepad, right, to write this code, but you are not using Notepad. You are using this type of IDE, IntelliJ or Eclipse or NetBeans, because they will be giving you all the information you need here. Where is the error? Like what type of, they'll give you suggestion that you fix it, right? So now if I just give semicolon, so this is one of the syntax in Java. every statement will be ending with a semicolon. This is, if you don't give this semicolon, you will see error like this. So now, maybe in Python, you're not gonna give any syntax like this, like no, maybe no semicolon is required. In another language like Python, there's another programming language, right? But for Java, this is the rules. You have to follow rules. Whatever language you use, you have to follow their rules. So you see, I added their error and just fixed it and run again. You will see again that there is no error and it will be displaying my name. So basically, this is your first programming code in Java. And most of the video, if you see, they will be saying hello world, something like that, right? So hello world. So if I run this, what's gonna happen? Can somebody tell? If I run this, what I will see here? Can somebody give the answer?
It's gonna say hello world.
It will be actually saying both of them. First, it will be saying my name is Shanto, and then it will be saying hello world.
Oh, okay.
See that I'm writing two different lines.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So those are like very, very basic fundamental. I know, like if somebody already took the Java class earlier, for them this is like very, very basic. But if I remove this ln, what happens? You see that?
It shows only one line.
Should it work if I just remove ln? I removed from the syntax instead of print ln. So print ln or system.out.print. This is one of the syntax that will be, you will be writing this all the time to see the stuff in the results. This is like console, but this you can say result screen where you see all the result report, if this is success or not success, right? So system.out.println will be one of the common line that you'll be writing all the time actually. So if I just remove ln, should it work? Can somebody guess?
Yeah, it should work. It's gonna print the same line, only one line.
Okay, yes. So this is true actually. You see this nice two line? It will not be nice two line. It will be one line. But this is a problem sometimes if there is multiple line required. If there is, for example, if there is multiple line, all of them coming in a single line. So that is the problem with reading sometimes. People will have difficulty to read, right? So to avoid this, the option is ln, right? Line means a new line. Each statement will be displayed as a new line. You see that? So if you give ln, it will be displayed as a single line. If you give no ln, so that means all of your statement will be displayed in the same line. So now if I just run this, you will see all these 4 lines will be separated and displayed in a separate 4 line. It will be more user friendly, right? More readable. So this is ln versus no ln. Now comments. So comments is another one that is very, very useful all the time, actually, all the time. So what is comments? So comments means, for example, you decided, okay, I want to add some kind of note so that if some another developer read my code, they will understand what I'm doing. So now if I say, okay, I say I am doing Java practice. I'm doing Java practice as part of my QA course. So this is my note. If somebody want to read and just check it that what I am doing here. So now if I run this, what's gonna happen? You see this, all of these error means Java JDK actually cannot read your statement here. Now, if I give semicolon, it will still not work because this is a plain English. This is nothing from Java code. Java cannot understand this actually. You see that? Not a statement. This is not a statement. And each of these statement, actually they think about like, I see there is one statement, but Java will be assuming this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different statement. Okay. Now, to avoid this type of problem, you will be just adding a comment syntax here. This is, see that 2/. If you add 2/, that will make this line as a comment. Now, if you run this, you will see there is no error. You see that? Everything displaying correctly, no error. So what does that mean actually? That means if you want any comment, just give 2/. So these are single line comment. Now what happens if I'm just writing multiple line? So I added comment 1 line, but I have 3-line comment. So there is another comment called multi-line comment. So multi-line comment will be starting with 1/, and then a star. Instead of second slash will be star, and ending with opposite direction, star and 1/. So this option is called multi/. You see that multi-line comment, and this one is a single line comment. Those are very, very basic, but those are very, very important because all the time you'll be adding some kind of notes. Sometimes you don't want to run some specific line. So all you have to do so instead of 4 line, you want to see only 2 line. What are you gonna do? So I don't want to see my name, this one, and another one is last one. I don't want to see. So I only want to see these 2 lines on my console, right? So I made it a single line comment here. So if I run this instead of this 4 line, I will see only these 2 lines. You see that? So far, anybody has any question about what is this comments, what is single line comments, what is multi-line comments, and what is a main method, what is the purpose of main method actually? Okay. I am assuming all of you understood so far.
Maya, if you can explain us again, that would be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Whether we're actually getting confused.
Okay.
More and more every.
So this is from the beginning actually. Okay. So first I added a new project, right? Going new, right? So project, so each project will have multiple folder. You'll see one is project folder and one is library folder. That project folder where you will be writing all of your codes, and library folder will be showing that what type of Java version you installed. If you already see this, that means you already have Java library. So everything you are typing here somehow will be connected with this library, and they will be validated against this library. If you write something here and that doesn't match with this library, you will see some kind of error also in the future. Means you actually need library that is related to your project or that is related to your work. In the future, when you do automation practice, you will see that certain automation framework has some other libraries also that you have to add. So you can actually add libraries here. You can delete libraries from here. Everything you can do. Now, this folder has project, right? Inside this project, you'll be writing all the codes, Java code or whatever programming code, right? And this folder actually is a different folder structure. The main project is parent, for example, and they have subfolders or child folders. And inside the child folders, they have multiple packages. And inside the packages, they have multiple coding or test or classes. If you see, there are a total of 3 folders inside the project. And all you have to take care, this is the source. Source folder is the main folder that you will be writing all of your test cases, all of your coding and everything. You can add more and more packages here. And as I said, inside the packages, you can add more and more new coding as a class. And those class, this is a single class, but each packages can have several classes. You can add 20 classes, you can add 30 classes. So each class will have some other information also, right? So if those are your test class or you want to run these classes, right? So you can write code without writing main method. But if you want to run this code, if you want to run this class you just wrote, you need a main method. And main method, basically at the beginning, maybe you have to just memorize this. Public static void main, right? This is a statement. You have to, for example, memorize it. And there is a shortcut you'll see in the future that you don't have to memorize, just use this shortcut and you will see that public static void main. And any code you write for testing, for practice, or for doing anything in Java, you will be writing inside the class, first of all, and second, if you want to run this, then inside the main method. So inside the main method, you will be writing Java syntax. So syntax means writing style. So this is a language, for example, we say English, right? So for example, this is a plain English. This is not Java. So now if you add a comment, basically you are adding Java rules. Now this is Java syntax because you are adding plain English and implemented Java logic, comment logic here, right? So each of these statement in Java will be ending with a semicolon. Anything you want to display, print, you have to use this print option, system.out.println. This is a syntax to print anything you want to print. For now, you can just memorize, or similar to public static void, there is another shortcut we will use in the future to write this. So inside the print method, right? This is a print. anything you write inside the parenthesis, it has to go inside the quotation mark. You see that quotation, double quotation? So if you don't give double quotation, it will give you error. Like for example, I just removing this double quotation. Now you already see there is error. You see that? The red. And your already project layout also becoming red because this is red. If one is red, this will be red also. And now if you run this, it will be saying here that this quotation is missing maybe. It will be giving the information. You see that quotation is expected. And also, this is not a Java statement. If there is a missing, that means you have to give quotation. But why this is quotation will be going there. Now, if you run this, if you run this, you will see there is no more error now, right? So when you write something, you can add notes as part of single line comment and multi-line comment. So far, this is the summary what I covered. And also, if you miss any of this curly bracket, so basically curly bracket, right? Opening has to have a closing also. For example, this curly bracket, this is the opening, right? If you go and see, this is the opening and this is the closing curly bracket. So if you just remove this, you will see error. You see that already red. So IntelliJ actually upset, right? That you are doing something not right. So now if you just add this error is gone, red is gone, you see that? So everything is very, very case sensitive. Some of them are uppercase, some of them are lowercase. You see that public P is lowercase, right? String S is uppercase. So if you just give this instead of S uppercase, you give lowercase, it will be giving you already error. You see that? So those are some keywords you cannot just change. You have to give exactly the way they are looking for. You see that? String or static, you see that they are specific keyword. Static, public, void, main, those are keyword actually. So Java keyword, these are very, very case sensitive. If you write your name, it can be anything, but if you write some specific keyword, the keyword need to be matched exactly. And if you just change it, you will see error. So far, anybody else has any other question?
Basically, we have to use all the keywords here, right? That's the main point.
Not key. I didn't say all the keyword you have to use, but I'm saying whenever you use keyword, the keywords
Yes.
are very, very case sensitive. They has to be exactly the way Java wants.
Okay. Like that,
like this is kind of a formula. For example, if you think about math,
okay.
it's like similar to a formula that you are using in Java. This is kind of a formula that you are using in Java to write this one, to write this one. These are called syntax in programming language. Syntax means their writing style or the way you write.
Okay.
For example, this is like plain English, right? But this
So
is
Bhaiya, how do you know the syntax that we use to write Java?
Oh, that you will be practicing actually. Today is the day one, so yeah, this is just the starting point. So next 3 more weeks we'll be actually practicing that you need for your QA course. So far we understood like few stuff, right? How you create a project, how you create a package, how you create a class inside the package, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But now, like several other thing also is so far understood that how you write a simple code to display your name, for example, right? So this is a code to display your name. So if you can write successfully this, in some sense, you are a programmer actually. So I'm kind of in a sense that I can successfully write and successfully execute this program. So I'm kind of programmer here, right? As long as you are doing this everything right. So this is your programming knowledge so far, right? So you are a programmer, maybe very beginning level, but you are a programmer. Developers do this all the time. They do more complex syntax. They will be adding maybe 200 lines here to build some product, but they're doing same way. They're just following the same concept. So now if you write one line versus you write 200 line, the process you are following same, right? So those are like basic concept that how we start writing a Java code. But we will
We
have
to.
sorry. Can you repeat your question?
We have to write the code based on our work, right?
Yes, based on your actually remember requirement or testing.
Yeah.
Specifically, for example, if you go to, for example, that was one of the homework, right?
Yeah.
Different type of concept they explained very clearly, and not only clearly, they actually, if you don't have IntelliJ or Eclipse for now, you can actually practice here. You see that they have a similar like IntelliJ stuff here. Try it yourself. You see that?
Yeah. I can
If you
see
click
it.
on try it yourself, this is very similarly like IntelliJ or Eclipse. It works like similarly IntelliJ or Eclipse. So now you can see actually. So now if I, instead of hello world, if you write today is our day one, right? Right? Today is our day one, for example. It will be displaying, instead of hello world, it will be displaying this if you run this. You see that?
Yeah.
So this is the part, like you have to write this, and since you are running, you need a public static void main. If you just don't have this main method, this is called main method. Basically, without main method, you cannot run anything. You cannot display anything. To display, you need another syntax. This is called system.out.println. Anything you want to see here, right? If you want to write, if you want to write more stuff, you can write. You can add here. If I just run this, you will see 3 different lines.
Like we can add as much as syntax we want, right?
Yes, but syntax, different type of syntax you will be using different time based on your actually type of testing you are doing, type of work you are doing. So, but you have to understand first concept, right? Those are basic concept, how it works.
Okay.
Bhaiya, that means
Yes.
we need to know main method always.
No, you don't have to. No, you don't have to know. You have to write this statement all the time if you want to run anything.
Also, I have to write the system.out.println, right?
So sometimes what's gonna happen? Sometimes you will be creating a class. That class will be part of your reference. You are not running this. So if you are not running this, you can just remove this. You don't need main method, for example. So if you are not running this, you don't need a main method. But if you think you will be running this class, then you need a main method. So
Now-
purpose of main method to run, always without main method, you cannot run a class or you cannot execute the code basically. So that I was actually, okay, that I was telling you that you can actually practice from W3 schools also. Every single topic here, every single topic has an exercise to practice. You can practice, you can just go there, for example. Now I will go to, for example, if I go to variables or data types, this is my next topic actually, I'll be going there. So different type of data type, right? What are those and how you can use those? You can actually practice, go there and you can practice. Like for example, you don't have laptop for 1 more week, but you have to practice Java. So you can just go and practice if you have any online access anywhere. So, okay. So going back to this code. So anybody has any question? And some other information that is very important, the standard uppercase for programs, projects, lowercase for package, right? And uppercase for classes, always starting, and also camel casing, right? Every single word start with uppercase. So those are some standard all the programmers use actually. So types of comment, I already said that, right? So now data types in Java. So what is data actually? Can somebody tell what is a data? So anything you say, those are data, right? Like for example, your social security is a data, your name is a data, your address is a data, your phone number is a data, right? Your city, zip code, everything is data. But some of these data is letter, right? Alpha, some of them are alphanumeric both, some of them just the number, right? So different type of data. So in Java, there are several types of data that you have to understand because you have to use them all the time. So one of these types, there are like few types: Boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, and double. So you see that there are how many, right? 6 or 7, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 data type, 8 data types you are talking for Java, but few of them will be mostly usable, and some of them maybe you don't need, but for knowledge purpose, for interview purpose, you have to know all of this name, what type of data you are using in Java. So now, what is Boolean? So anything you have question about true or false, means yes, no type of question, you will be, this data type will be Boolean. Anything just a single character, means A, B, C, D, you see that those are called character or char or char or byte. These also some value that is between 128 to 127. Between this number will be part of byte. And between 32,700 to minus 32,700 to plus 32,700 is short. You see that the number is bigger, their actually name also changing. Most of the time you'll be using int. This is the most popular one and common one. Any number we are using, like, what is that? 200 billion or 200 million, minus 200 million to plus 200 million, that is part of int, right? Long is very big number. Float is with decimal point. Float and double, right? They are with decimal point. But one important thing is when you write a float, you always have to give a letter F at the end. So when you write double, you don't have to give a letter F, but they both works same. Important concept here, sometimes if you work with, for example, smaller number, you don't want to use long, because each of these type uses different type of memory space, right, from your system. You see that long will be taking 8 bytes memory versus if you have a byte, right, small number, only 1 byte, like 8 times more. So depending on your data type, your performance can vary also, right? Sometimes your program will be slower, right? If you add all of these big numbers, 8 byte, 8 byte, 8 byte, compared to 1 byte, 2 byte. So if you have a choice to use a smaller one, just use the smaller one. That will make your program more faster. So we'll be actually giving some example how these data types works. Now going back to IntelliJ. So now if I create a new package, not new package, new class, data type, what I have to do, can somebody tell? Go to new class, data type. So data type concept. So you see that I am doing class with uppercase and also camel casing. Each new word will be starting with uppercase so that user can read properly. So more readable. So this is a brand new. So since I will be writing something, I want to just copy public static void. So why this is red? Can somebody tell why this is red?
Is it
Because-
because you did not put the slash on the beginning?
Because the curly bracket is missing.
Yes. So basically one of these, you see that this one curly bracket is missing. This one curly bracket is there, but the first curly brackets, the closing point is missing. So you have to give another curly bracket. So your red will be gone. Sometimes at your work, you will find errors with like very basic stuff, like typo, right? You just missed it. So if you are just careful, you can just save a lot of time. So now all my stuff will be inside this static, right? Main static, so that I can write everything. So as I said, Boolean, right? So Boolean will be, so I'm going to Boolean later. First, I'm going to byte with the number. So byte will be what is that? Accepting only till 127. So my expectation is if I give more than 127, it will give you error, right? So now, same thing. If you just copy and paste this one, system.out println, for example. Okay, just here. So another concept is anytime you use number, you don't have to give double quotation. If I give 3, 3 is a number, right? So if I just run this, I supposed to see 3 here. You see that? But if I type some name, this is not a number, right? This is a text. So this will need double quotation, otherwise it will give you error. So now I'm working with number. So my first one was byte. So byte will be accepting until 127. Now if I give 150. Before going to byte, there are another concept you have to know to practice together. Variables. So what is a variable actually? So variable is kind of bucket where you keep all this data type. For example, you can use specific variables to hold specific types of data. If I ask you, if you go to some grocery and take a small, it's a bottle, and if you want to buy some potato, can you hold this potato inside the bottle? No, right? If I say, okay, buy some oil or buy some milk, then you can hold those inside the bottle or gallon. So you see that specific types of product or specific type of grocery item, you need specific types of bag, right? If you have a plastic bag, this bag can be used for potato, not like a bottle or a small gallon. So liquid stuff can hold with the gallon, but not the potato, or if you want to buy a box of cereal, you cannot keep inside the gallon. So variables similarly, they are a specific type of container, you can say. So they can hold specific type of data. So there are some, these 5 variables are mostly used in Java. String. So string means anything like name, statement, anything you use, like string will be in any string type of data will be inside the double quotation. Int, anything that has number, right? Means if you see the size of number, int means this one. Very big number, but most of the time you can use int. But if there is really, really big number, then you can use maybe long, because long is very, very big number. Float. So as I said you here, right? Decimal point, right? Like 1.37, 10.27, right? This kind of decimal point. We will be using also double also for decimal point, because double and float both works similarly. Both takes decimal point. And character, CAR. So character takes only single digit, like single letter, A or B. One important thing between string and character, string will be more than one character, right? And it will have double quotation, but character only single letter, and it has only single quotation. You see that single quotation? So string always have double quotation, char or character will have a single quotation. Boolean will only accept true or false. That's it, true or false. This is the 2 only option. When we practice, you will understand more. And another important difference here, that string is only variable here that will be starting with uppercase. All other variables will be starting with lowercase. Because these is special characters, special string is very, very special. So this one has multiple rows. That's why it is uppercase actually. So now if I go to if I declare, so anytime you want to write a variable, you have this kind of declaration. So what is that declaration means? Now, if I say byte, so byte is a variable type, right? And now you can give, so this is variable type or data type, and now you can give variable name. Anything you can give. You can give X, X, Y, Z, or anything, X1. So this is your variable name. And I'm giving one variable name is 150. And why this is a red here? Can somebody tell why this is a red here?
No semicolon, that's why.
Yes, so you have to give a semicolon. For Java, you always have to give semicolon. Still, why this is a red? Can somebody guess quickly?
Because the number is higher. You can
Yes.
only put until, I think.
Yeah, they byte will be taking only until 127. So if you give like 120, there will be no red. You see that there is no red. So as you see from here, right, the list, byte is taking only until 127. Now, if you want to display this here, what you have to write inside this box? System.out.println. So how you can print this? Can somebody tell what I have to give here?
120.
Actually, both will work, but X1 is the variable you can use, right? If you give X1, it will be displaying here 120 because 120 actually representing, right? Representation of X1. Now, if you just run this, you see that 120. You can also give 120 here. If you give 120, this is showing you something. Why there is a yellow light. What does that mean actually? Why that yellow light came up here? Can somebody explain? That yellow light actually means this is not an error, but it is saying you are using 120, then why you created a variable? These are useless steps you had. There is no use of this actually. This is not an error actually, but you are not using this statement. You can directly give 120. The code will work fine, but there is an extra step you gave here that has no use, right? When you don't have any use of this, like unnecessary work you have done, you will see some kind of yellow light here. Is there giving you information? Okay, you are not using this line, but you can use this line. So now, what is the next one? Byte and short, right? So what short text? Short text 32,767, right? So same thing I can do. Actually, just copy. So why this is a red here? Can somebody tell? This is a duplicate, right? You cannot use same variable again and again. You see that you already use X1, so you have to give something like X2 maybe, not 1. Now, if I run this, what you're supposed to see here?
$120.
So if I run this, so how many statements you will see here?
2,
What will be that 2?
120 and 30.
But both will be showing actually 120.
Oh.
There is a reason actually, because I did not give x2 here. I gave x1. Both time I
Oh.
printed x1. You see that?
Yes.
If I give x2, that will be giving you number. This is a little bit tricky, right? But just a concept. So this is byte. Now I want to make it short. So short is another data type that will be holding same thing. It is giving error, right? Because short will not accept that big number. They will accept only something like 6,700 or something. So now 30,000, it is accepting. Now, if I run this, it will be giving you 30,000. Okay, so now what is the next one? Next one is int, right? Okay. So if you just give int here, and again, right, you cannot use same variable again and again. You have to give just something. So this is just x1, x2, x3 is depending on you, whatever you actually give. If I give number 3, this is them, right? This is same thing. If I give here instead of x2, I give my name and 2, still same thing. But now this is red because this was x2 before, but now this become Shanto 2. So you have to basically change it. So if you change it, that will be, you see that? So this and this variable need to match. Otherwise it will give you either error. So basically any variable you use here, it has to be available in this inside the class. If you don't have inside the class, you will see some error. So now if I run this, you will see 123, 30,000 and 120 because I gave x1, right? But
Yeah.
I can give num 3. And now if I run this, actually give some different number. So somebody asked me like, what type of statement we are using in Java, right? Like maybe 20 minutes ago. So basically you see that we are practicing, we are building our knowledge little. This type of information you'll be using all the time, but it will be little bit more complex. This is like very basic, but as you practice, it will be actually just fine. So this is int, right? So now what is the next one?
Long.
Long, okay. So long will take very big number. So same thing. So if you give long, and you have to just change it to 4 maybe. Okay. So I can give very big number. Why this is okay. So long should take how many decimal? This digit. Is like 999 100 million. Okay, but should be taking. Okay. So this is long. So if I run this, it will be giving you this number. So now for decimal, what, okay. So for long, one thing I can do, what happen if I give like this? Yeah, I was expecting more bigger number will be, but this is small, okay. So next one is float. So float will be taking the decimal point, right? So actually float x5 maybe. So if I just give here 5 and run this, what I supposed to see here? Can somebody tell what I supposed to see here?
You didn't put decimal. In the,
Last
Yes,
digit is
if-
120.
Yeah, even you don't put decimal, float will be assuming that you have a decimal. You see that here?
yeah.
You don't need the F.
Now another one is double. You see the double? Like if you say that, okay, this one is 170, right? So now if I run this, so double will be taking both without decimal and with decimal here. You see that? Now if you give 0.99, what happens?
You have to change the variable for the print.
Bhaiya, you need to change x6 instead of
Yeah.
x1.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's coming 120 again. So if I remove this 99, okay. You see that both float and double works for decimal point. So why this is red?
Don't need a F at the end.
Yes, so remember I said if you give any decimal point, you have to give a F. But double, you don't need to give any D or anything. So that's why most of the time you will be using actually double, because sometimes you'll be forgetting to give F and your program will give error, right? That's why this double be more usable. Like same thing, int will be more usable. And here, another one is Boolean will be usable. Actually, Boolean will be used all the time. Okay, so this one is data type and that one is Boolean, right? So as I said, Boolean will be taking only either true or false. You see that Boolean? I say anything, right? True or false. So either true or false. Now you can just give this. You see that? This one will be either true or false. And one important thing here, when you use variable inside the println method or print method, you will not give any kind of quotation, no single, no double, nothing. Because variable always works as it is. But if you give, for example, if you want to see true here instead of variable, right? So now you actually have to give oh, this is a keyword, that's okay. So I'm saying anything you can give, so you have to give quotation here. But if you use variable, you don't need to give any quotation. Same thing for character, you have to give single. You have to give basically single quotation. So if you just do this 7 and so this one will be accepting only, for example, A, B, C, D, something like that, right? So if I give B, and why this is red, can somebody tell?
Because it's making single quotation.
Yes, you need a single quotation. That's why it is displaying as red. Because there is a character, not number. Only number, you don't have to give any quotation. Now, string, right? String will be actually this is just so if you do this string, this is another data type. This is 8. And this is 8, for example. So this is again giving you error. Same reason, right? String will have double quotation instead of single. When you use string, there will be always double quotation. When you use car, it will be always single quotation. So everybody got the what is the concept of data type and variable? You can ask the question because this will be used every time you write automation test code. Types of data and the variable. This is very, very important concept. It is also interview question also. Okay, I think most of you understood what is data type and how you can use these data types with variables and the concept of variables. Now going back to my, okay. So naming convention. Variable has some naming convention. So variable can contain only some specific letters, A to Z lowercase and uppercase, numbers, underscore, and $sign. You see that this is only 2 special character variable can hold. Otherwise, it will be giving you error. Cannot be keyword. So there are something like 40 to 50 keyword in Java. You cannot use those as a variable. And those are keyword. You see that some specific words that are actually reserved for their formulas or their actions or methods, some special names. So class, right? Class is a keyword. So if you go to your IntelliJ and instead of int num3, right? If I say I want to give this name as class, it will give you error. You see that is already error. You cannot use a keyword as part of your variable. So this is the concept. So you cannot use any keyword, cannot start with number. So your variables cannot be started with number. So if I say I want to write num, but before that I want to give you 007, it will give you error. You see that? Or you give any number. You give any number, it will give you error. So variable cannot start with a number. Those are some rules. Variables, this is the standard. Variable will be starting with lowercase letter. And basically, you will be following same like camel casing. So now if you want to write some name, okay, so login. So for example, this is your login password. If you write this, it will be lowercase, right? And also camel casing, the second word, third word will be always uppercase. So new word will be starting with uppercase. Same concept. So this is also a kind of standard. Don't use a variable that is too long actually. Most of the time, like 10 digit, 7 digit, 5 digit variable is good enough. You cannot use, like, you should not use like 50 character long or 30 character, 70 character long variable. Your code will be too big actually. So it should be like some short form and something that readable and something that is close to your project or work you are doing. So this is red because this is not matching with num, right? Okay. So these are some basic concepts. So there are some just valid variable versus invalid variable concept they're checking. Like this one will be invalid, right? This is valid, this is valid, this will be invalid, right? If you see there, okay, those are valid, those are invalid. And as I said, these are some Java keywords, something like maybe close to 40 to 50, 45 maybe. Those are keyword you cannot use. So this could be our last maybe topic for the day, just starting. So when you add some number, for example, this is operation or expression in Java. You can do exactly like a calculator, A plus B or B plus C, something like that, right? So these two will be operand. You don't have to you don't have to know that actually. You have to know just the concept these details just for information that you can maybe it will be helping you. But the concept is when there are different type of operations in Java. There are arithmetic operation, there are logical operation, there are relational operation. So arithmetic operation is, okay, if I create another class, operation, right? So if I just create a new class and just copy the main method, just now, since there is one closing curly bracket missing, now this is no more. So now you will be giving, okay, now you are creating some numbers, variable, int num1, for example, equal to 30. Now int num2 equal to 10. Now you can give a result. Int to num1 plus num2. Now, if I want to see some other I'm just giving a statement and just okay. Now, if I want to see what is 31 minus 10, so what I should write here. So this is arithmetic operation, right? So now I can give num1 plus num2. So if I run this, what will be the answer here?
41.
Okay. This is correct. Now, if I give instead of num1, num2, I can just give result also, right? Same thing, it will be 41, right? Now, if I give num1 minus num2, same thing, it can work, right? 31 minus 10 will be 21. You see, so now you can see that how you are checking the calculation. This is called arithmetic operator or operation actually. So you can basically just do plus, minus, division, everything here. One thing you can do, I declared the variable. You can, declaring variable is always a good choice, but you can give directly the number here also. For example, if I give 10 plus 7, I can do this also. It will give you 17, 41, and 21. You see that? So variable is always when you declare, but if you don't declare the number, then you can directly give here. Now, if you want to show this with some statement, what you have to do, you can write something like inside the double quotation. Uh, 10, 7 equal to so you see that now if I write this and now run this, it will be giving you displaying you differently. You see that? So you can actually add some statement plus numbers and everything. This is called concatenation. So basically you are adding the statement, one statement, two statement with using of plus. So those are some operation you'll be just doing this. Now there are some differences here. Basic, right? Those are basic addition, subtraction, multiplication will be exactly same. Division has different thing. Modulus. So what is a modulus actually here? If you know the math when you did like high school or somewhere, so instead of this, now if I do 31 and this is the modulus. Modulus is a percentage sign, right? Then percentage, then 10. So what will be the answer here for this statement? Can somebody tell?
Should be 3.10.
So basically instead of 10, this is 31. And instead of 2, I have 10. So what will be the answer?
41.
0.
Answer is 0.
It will be actually 1. Means what is the remainder? Modulus means the remainder. You see that? It will be the remainder. But instead of, if instead of percentage sign, if you just give a division sign, what will be the answer? Instead of 1, it will be 3, right? How many times is 10 is there? 3 times. So if you just do this separately, yeah. One is division and one is modulus. Okay, so now you can see clearly. One will be 3, one will be 1. You see that? So I think this is the only difference, little bit. Other than all of them are very straightforward for you. Increment and decrement will be covering next class because most of the part actually, if I go to the concept, number, variable, operators, we are very close to here right now. I didn't even cover this part. So we have to continue next class. Before closing the class, one of the homework will be covered next week. Let me go. So this is from last week. So you can start reading this stuff. Everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? I can see.
So whatever we covered here, those are very, 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 very fundamental. So we'll be covering more stuff in the future, next 3 or 4 weeks. That is required for automation, to know automation better. But to concept, know the concept, go to W3 School and read those stuff. And as I said, each of them has practice part, right? So you can actually directly go and try yourself and practice by your own. And you see how it is changing. And also another homework is coming from Jewelwise class also, maybe next class. This is going to Code Academy. You see that there is a website called Code Academy. This one has two purposes. One is practicing Java, and second one will be reading part. That means as part of QA, right? You have to read a lot. Sometimes you have to read documents, right? So we want to make sure that you can follow the instruction. So this is open. This is a free online website that where you can just create an account. You just need a valid email ID. So if you log in, like for example, I have probably so I have account also. Let me check if it is still working or not. I don't know what is the password I used actually.
Bhai, can I leave today?
Yes, you can leave. You can leave.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I forgot my password actually. Anyway, so basically you have to go. Okay, let me. Code Academy. So I can create another password. Forgot. I used long time ago, so I have to just check what is the password. So there are several passwords I used. Okay, look, actually this one I will explain tomorrow because I have to maybe create a new password. Going back to the project. Okay, so for today's class, I'll be sending this video, and also I'll be sending 10 quick quiz that is related to the materials we covered. And tomorrow, Jewelwise probably will be doing this Code Academy part, and he will be practicing more this stuff. So that's it. Anybody has any question from today's fundamental introduction to Java?
One more thing, Bhaiya.
Yes.
What is the basic point we need to know about this coding, like variables or other stuff? Because it's huge.
So your question is, what is the basic plan?
Yeah, what is the basic plan that we
So
start to
basic,
study?
okay, so
Java.
basic plan will be covering most of the concept that is required. For example, if I go to the syllabus, actually, so course document, if I go to syllabus, then you can actually see. So basic plan is before starting this automation, right? For Selenium practice, you need some basic Java concept. So we need to cover all of these topics. Those are required. Means you will be using those sometimes when you do automation. If you don't do automation, then you don't need Java. But since automation is required in the current market, without automation is really tough to get the job, right? Maybe 15 years ago, there was a lot of manual job, but nowadays you definitely need automation knowledge. And for automation knowledge, you need some kind of programming language. And as I said, Java is one of the popular now in the market. And we are covering this Java first before going to automation. This is the plan. But we have a complete Java syllabus also that will be covered. Let me go. Okay, so complete Java. Okay, this one. So this I will be sharing with all of you also. You see that? So this is a Java syllabus we will be following. Variables, operators, data types, if-else statement, switch statement, and some other object-oriented programming concept also. So as I said, there will be at least 3 more classes on Java. Then there will be practice for homework. Once you do practice, you will feel better actually. At the beginning, if you never took Java, you're gonna feel it is very complicated. But if you practice, it will not be complicated. So this is the plan. Understanding some basic concept first before going to automation.
Okay.
Bhaiya,
Then
what,
we'll send us email, by email. Huh?
Sorry, what is the question? Hello? Somebody want?
yeah, I'm asking, do we have download the IntelliJ?
Yes, so you have to download IntelliJ, but before IntelliJ, you have to download Java JDK.
Bhai, I have a question because I
Okay.
cannot able to download the IntelliJ IDEA. So.
Oh, okay. So before downloading IntelliJ, you need, as I said, you need to download.
I
JDK.
downloaded Java, but I cannot.
Oh,
download
Can I
the
leave?
IntelliJ.
yes. Anybody, like, class is finished. So if you have any question, you can stay. Otherwise, you can leave. Yes.
Okay, Allah Hafiz.
Yes, Bhaiya.